Welcome to Sure Learning. Today we are going to discuss how to boost your students' comprehension. So you just taught your students something new. Now you are ready to get them practicing. One standard approach is to assign written assignment. That is perfectly fine. But you do that every day. So how can you increase student interaction so that they can talk more? Did you try out reciprocal teaching strategy?
What is reciprocal teaching? The word reciprocal is an adjective stemming from the Latin word reciprocus, meaning returning the same way, alternating. When a student listens to the teacher explain a concept or idea in a lesson, such as the parts of the plant, the student pays special attention to the various names, learns how each part is related to the whole, and studies the purpose or function of each part. The teacher then puts the students into groups where students are empowered as they are assigned various roles. Teacher model or explain the concept, then help students learn to guide group discussion using 4 strategies also called 4FAB: predicting, questioning, clarifying and summarizing. How to implement the strategy in class? Predictor: make guesses about what a passage might be about or what might happen next. Questionnaire: asks questions about the passage. Clarifier: finds difficult words or ideas and look for clues to help explain them. Summarizer: uses own words to explain key ideas. First, you demonstrate how the strategies work. Then students work together in groups to better understand the processes. And finally, once students are comfortable, they use these strategies on their own. Divide students into groups, and then within the group, each child is given a role to play. Role number 1. The questionnaire. Here, he or she asks questions that will help the group to understand. You can give role cards to your students. The role card will have the clue question like what is, why is, who would, how can. Asking, discussing and answering questions gets students involved within the reading and ensure they are paying attention to important details. You can download the role card from the link given in the description box. Predictor is the next role. Here, he or she uses what you have read and the text features to help figure out what the group will learn and or what will happen in the next piece of text. The group can change their prediction as they read on. There are 2 parts to predicting a text. The first involves predicting what is going to happen overall in reading. The other involves predicting what is going to happen next in a section or chapter. They sound similar, but both have different processes. Part number 1. Predict what will happen throughout a text by using the title, imagery, or even a summary. Then use those clues to make your prediction of what happens in the entire piece. Part number 2. Skim the next bit of text you have been assigned to read and pick out certain words, sentences or images. From that quick overview, predict what is going to happen next in the text. The students can express themselves using I think, I wonder if, I predict. Clarifier is the next role. In this role, students identify what are they confused about, like what they have read, when a sentence is read that doesn't make sense, when the question is asked. Give your students a good idea of what it feels like to misunderstand a passage so they can identify this problem themselves. In the book Reading Essentials, the specifies you need to teach reading well by Roger Rothman, the author states that many young readers don't know when they have lost meaning in a text. Students can get tripped up by long, complicated words, hard to interpret images, such as graphs or tables, convoluted sentences, or complex ideas. You need to show them some strategies to resolve these problems. Reread the passage. On average, we can only focus for 10 to 15 minutes before needing a break. Sometimes we don't even realize our brains are distracted until several minutes later. An easy fix is to reread the passage to get a grip on the ideas that were just presented. Break down complicated parts. Breaking down what's confusing reader can help with overall comprehension. Have students read a complex sentence slowly and separate it into smaller parts, reading the bit on their own and clarifying the section that doesn't make sense by looking up words or asking for help. Summarizer is the next role. The role of summarizer is to present the key idea of the lesson in written and verbal forms. Encourage students to stop often throughout a reading to make summative notes on the text. Summarizing each portion of reading creates a roadmap for students to see which parts they understand. During group work, students should be able to verbalize their summaries to their group. At the end of the reading, students can combine their smaller summaries to make one full-length overview. Why it is important? It encourages students to think about their thought processes during reading or discussion. It helps students learn to be actively involved and monitor their comprehension or learning. It also facilitates the student in questioning the skill of the students. Stay engaged. Students are actively looking for different clues and ideas throughout reading, which help them to stay interested in a text. It boosts reading comprehension. The 4 building block gives students the tool needed to decipher a text and understand the ideas being presented to them. Learn on their own or in a group. Reciprocal teaching puts students in the position to improve their reading comprehension through teamwork, so they are better suited to work by themselves or future projects. Hope this will help you to boost your students' comprehension. Stay tuned for such more interesting technique. Happy learning.